Jennifer Lawrence is one of the most recognizable actresses in Hollywood thanks to her roles in films like The Hunger Games and Silver Linings Playbook. She's been nominated for countless awards, including 4 Oscars, one of which she won for her performance in Silver Linings Playbook. Also, she's not just a good actress. In fact, she's also an outspoken advocate for feminism and gender equality. Since she's still such a big deal, we have collected some trivia about her. Here are 10 things you should know about Jennifer Lawrence. Early life. Jennifer Schrader Lawrence was born on August 15, 1990 in the suburbs of Louisville, Kentucky, to Gary, a construction worker, and Karen, a children's camp manager. She has 2 older brothers, Ben and Blaine, and is of mostly English and German descent with small amounts of Irish and Scottish ancestry. According to her, when she was growing up, she suffered from hyperactivity and social anxiety and didn't feel like she fit in amongst her peers. However, this seems to have changed in high school. She played softball, field hockey, and basketball and was also involved in cheerleading. She was discovered in a strange way. It is probably the dream of many to be stopped on the street and told they look like they could be a star, but that is essentially what happened to Lawrence. While visiting Manhattan with her mother, a 14-year-old Lawrence was spotted by a talent agent who told her she should go into modeling and offered her his info in an agency. Years later, in an interview she said, "I didn't know that kind of thing was creepy. Then I went into the agency and did a cold red for a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup commercial. They told me it was the best cold red they'd ever seen from a 14-year-old. My mom told me they were lying." Regardless, the creepy encounter was completely legitimate, and Lawrence is now one of Hollywood's most sought-after and highest-paid actresses. She dropped out of high school. Jennifer Lawrence is one of the youngest actors to drop out of school, being only in middle school at 14 to pursue her acting career. To this day, she has not obtained a GED, stating that her career was her first and only priority. And she stayed true to those words since her current net worth of $130 million came to be with the X-Men film series, The Hunger Games franchise, and Silver Linings Playbook. Lawrence is an inspiring woman who still worked hard and did not need to follow the social norms of getting an education to be successful. Auditioning for Winter's Bone. When Lawrence auditioned for the role of Ree Dolly in Winter's Bone, producers were initially wary of her good looks and rejected her for that role. According to Lawrence, she persisted and it paid off. "Like a psychopath, I followed them to New York on the red-eye and showed up the next day at the casting there. Not brushing my hair or washing my face did the trick." For her role, she received nominations for the Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, Satellite Award, Independent Spirit Award and Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actress. She was only 20 at the time and was the 3rd youngest actress ever to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress. She was devastated to lose out on Alice in Wonderland. Lawrence is a major star who has headlined numerous big-budget blockbusters since hitting it big in the early 2010s. But there is $1 billion grossing film that slipped through her fingers that still gives the actor nightmares from time to time. Formally kicking off Disney's obsession with making live-action versions of their animated classics, 2010's Alice in Wonderland was a huge hit for the Mouse House, and it almost served as her big break. She told W Magazine, "The only time I've ever been truly devastated by losing an audition, 'cause most of the time you're like, wasn't meant to be, move on, what can you do?' was Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. That one devastated me." She puked her guts out in front of Miley Cyrus. Lawrence has spilled her fair share of drinking stories, but she reached peak mess levels at an Oscars after party to the point where she drew the judgment of Miley Cyrus at her most unabashedly drug-loving. "I've never gone out after Golden Globes or Oscars or anything. I'm just so sick of people by that point. But this time I was like, I'm going out. And I puked all over. There's this big fancy party, this Guy Ossery and Madonna party. If you get invited, you're like, super important. And I puked on his porch. I was in such bad condition and I look behind me, and Miley Cyrus is looking at me like, get it together." She nearly suffocated on the set of The Hunger Games. During production of the 2-part Hunger Games Mockingjay finale, Lawrence was shooting the scene where she is leading the rebellion through a long tunnel. As she does, a sudden cloud of smoke arises. While filming the scene, one of the fog machines broke and began to spit out so much smoke no one could see her anymore. Lawrence and the other actors in the scene were coughing and choking and nearly suffocated in the dense cloud of smoke before the team realized what had gone wrong and got them all out. She took home Katniss Everdeen costume. At the San Diego Comic-Con in 2015, she revealed to E! She took home her leather hunting jacket and hunting boots from the Hunger Games set after the movies wrapped. They are hanging in her closet, and she has no idea what to do with them. Personally, she could wear them out in public and would rock it, but maybe she wants to just keep the memories of the films and preserve the costume. She regretted getting tattoo. Lawrence has a small tattoo on her right hand close to her thumb which reads H2O, a symbol for water, and a reminder for the actress is always stay hydrated. What Lawrence did not realize at the time was that her tattoo was factually incorrect because the 2 in H2O should be lower and not higher when writing out the chemical formula for water. In an interview with 60 Minutes, she said, "I didn't Google H2O. I'm a middle school dropout, it was H2O. So I'm an idiot tattooed on my hand forever." The actress revealed that she didn't even feel strongly about the ink. "I didn't want a tattoo, but all my friends were getting them at the same time." She nearly shot home intruders with a bow. After returning home from a day of filming, she wound up pulling her Hunger Games bow and arrow on home invaders, or at least who she thought were home invaders. She explained what happened in an interview with Vanity Fair in 2013. "One time, I actually used it for defense. I pulled into my garage and I heard men in my house. And I was like, I'm not letting them take my stuff. I had just gotten back from training, so I had the bow and arrows in the back of my car. I went to my car and I put this quiver on me and I had my bow and I loaded it and I'm walking up the stairs. And I look and my patio doors were open and there were guys working right there and I was like, hey, how you doing?" Fortunately, the intruders were just working on her house and no one had to have an arrow removed.